Hey everybody, it's John Hollywood with All You Need to Know Radio. We are going to stick tonight and we are going to just stay with this coloring. We just finished our last show of 2019, All You Need to Know Radio. All of our shows in 2019 were number one, and we want to say thank you so much to you and all of our audience. Hi. Um, Tonight we talked about the impeachment of Donald John Trump and Nancy Pelosi, the brilliance of the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, and the fact that she heard that they were not going to be fair in the Senate trials. In fact, they weren't going to call any witnesses. They weren't going to do anything that you do in a normal trial. And so Nancy Pelosi says, guess what? I'm not going to turn over the impeachment articles to you. So there's nothing in the Constitution that says that she has to turn them over to them. So what do they do now? The Senate is on the floor saying that the Democrats think they have a weak case. That's why they're not turning it over to the Senate, which is a complete lie, like everything that comes out of any GOP's mouth at this point. You know, it's the president who's the one that lies the most, but the GOP is still lying just as much. And it's pretty sad that they could not even say, not one GOP senator could say, or House of Representatives could say that Donald Trump had done anything wrong. When Donald Trump has done nothing but everything wrong. He's been the most corrupt president in the history of this country, I am sad to say. And yesterday, his impeachment was a sad day for our country, but it was a glorious, victorious day for our democracy because the system worked like it should. Donald Trump was impeached, and he will forever be known as the third sitting president that's been impeached. And Donald Trump cares very much about what people think about him. And so what you're going to see is Donald Trump unraveling here in the next few days. Now, this is what I predict. As far as Nancy holding the articles and not doing anything with them, she can legally do that, is what our constitutional lawyer said almost warrants. If you listen to our show from tonight, he gave some very detailed education about the law and how it's very silent in this situation. So we do have a lot of people joining us, so let me go ahead and wave to you guys so we don't lose that. I appreciate everybody that's joining us, and I'll say hi to everybody at the end. But so we talked a lot about the actual articles, and see, one thing that is not really being talked about in the media that much is this. In the article number 2, where Donald Trump was charged with obstruction of Congress, in the article it also says that Donald Trump can never, ever hold any kind of office with the government, meaning he can't be a president. So even if, say, he is acquitted by the Senate, he legally, well, if he's acquitted by the Senate, then yes, he could run for office. But I think Nancy Pelosi is playing games with Donald Trump's head. And she's playing political games, and she's a much better player than Donald Trump at political games. In fact, she kicks his ass every time. And it's hilarious for me to sit back and watch and listen to all the Republicans that went on national television and talked about how they weren't going to do anything but get rid of this trial, make it go away fast. It wasn't going to have any kind of stain on the president or anything like that. But that's a bunch of bullshit. Donald Trump cares about what people think about him. And it's egotistical and it's dumb. You should have enough confidence in yourself to not care about what other people think. But our president, our impeached president, just doesn't understand the ways of the world. So much love to everybody out there. I hope I'm doing that right. It's hard to do. There you go. But love. Mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting my show, All You Need to Know Radio. You know, we don't only just talk about politics. However, I think everybody out there will agree politics is what's everybody. Donald Trump is pretty much the news of every single day. Now, everybody always kind of laughs. What are we going to talk about when Donald Trump's gone? Believe me, there is a lot of other things that we can talk about besides this impeached, worthless ass president. Thank you for the mic drop, Daddy Diesel, or Daddy Dares. Sorry about that. It's just it was a shame yesterday, but then I refused I refused when I woke up today to feel ashamed that we had done what needed to be done. It was a necessity that he was impeached because it showed that the Democrats don't care about the polls, even because only half of America really wants Donald Trump impeached. Tonight, breaking news, he lost the evangelical vote, the Christian vote. He lost that vote. They're calling for him to be removed from office. Not only impeached, they're calling for him to be removed from office. That is a big deal. If Donald Trump does not have the evangelical vote, he will not win the presidency. Now, when will the articles of impeachment be turned over to the Senate? Nancy Pelosi says not until she is giving an assurance that there will be a fair trial. That means they will call witnesses. Where, you know, the Republicans are making decisions and saying that they're going to acquit the president when they haven't even seen all of the evidence, because they didn't want anything to do with the House when they were going through the articles. You know, it was pathetic to sit there and watch all those grown men just have no honor about what they were saying when they're lying their asses off about a worthless, disgusting old man that somehow became the president of the United States. But now he is the impeached president of the United States. And that will be on his record for the rest of his life. And trust me, Donald Trump does not want to just be acquitted. Donald Trump wants to be exonerated. So he wants a trial. He wants witnesses called. So him and I guess Chuck Schumer, or turtleneck man, are not on the same page because Donald Trump wants a trial. But Nancy Pelosi's trying to get in his head, and she's playing political games with him, and she's way out of his league. And so you're going to see an impeached Donald John Trump unravel between now and July 6th of 2020. Because the Congress is gone. Senate's gone. They're gone for the holidays. I guess Donald Trump could call them all back and demand. I don't know how much, I don't know how many people would actually even follow what he says, though. I mean, what's he going to do? Hold him in contempt? I mean, the guy has zero credibility with any other world leaders except for Vladimir Putin, which is his butt buddy. But the thing is that, Donald Trump needs to realize that he's not a king. He works for me. He works for you. He works for any American taxpayer who pays bills, who pays their taxes. And he was elected by 63 million people, but 67 million voted for Hillary Clinton, who was the rightful 45th president, actually. The election was stolen from her. And I find that very sad. She's one of the most qualified people in the world to be the president of the United States. But Putin played the game and knew that they could get inside Donald Trump's head because the guy had no morals. The guy had no character. He probably owes Russia a lot of money. I mean, one of the most shameful days in Donald Trump's presidency when he stood on the world stage and he said that he didn't believe his intelligence. 17 different agencies of intelligence said Russia interfered with our elections. Beside, on the world stage, standing by an evil dictator that is a murderer. Donald Trump said that I don't think it was Russia because Vladimir Putin said it wasn't Russia, and I can't think of a reason that it would be. Now, when he got back home, the coward impeached president changed it and said wouldn't be, or whatever he changed the words to. I mean, during this presidency, we have been told when Donald Trump says something, somebody has to clean it up and say this is what he actually meant. Words have meaning. That's the bottom line of all of this. And now Donald Trump is the third impeached president in the history of this country, and that will never go off of his presidency or his legacy, period. And you guys need to call your senators and tell them to vote no for Donald Trump, to vote him out of office is what you need to do. Don't waste your time doing it now. Wait till July 6th, and we'll be posting more and more about this. Once again, this is John Hollywood with All You Need to Know Radio, guys. Thanking you so much for your support and listening to our show and telling your friends and family about us. And your support has made every one of our shows in 2019 number one in our time slot. And we're not only heard in the United States, we're heard around the world. And it's so incredible to me when we talk to people from Brazil or Iran. I think Iran was one of the ones that were like, wow. I thought that was, okay, that was pretty cool. But, the sad fact of this is that Donald Trump is going to burn the White House to the ground before he leaves. Is that a sad fact, or is that just the facts? The bottom line is that this is an unhinged man that only cares about himself. I don't even really think he cares about his kids. I mean, he actually said something about his own son that I'm not going to repeat at a rally last night. While he was being impeached, he didn't have anybody there defending him. He was at a rally that was labeled a Christmas party or something. And he talked about a senator that had died, and his wife took over his seat after he died. And our dumbass impeached president made reference to the fact the guy was in hell looking up at Trump. I don't know why he said it. It just shows the guy has no class. And that cannot be the leader of the United States. That is not the leader of my country. It is just that simple. So the thing is that we need to get it together. And I wanted to once again say thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. We're never going to forget it. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Happy New Year as well. And we will see you in 2020. And keep reaching for the stars, because that's where it all begins. Never let anyone tell you how to live your life or how to make your dreams come true or who to love. Always love yourself first. This is John Hollywood, live from Dallas, Texas, with All You Need to Know Radio, saying good night. We'll see you in 2020. Bye-bye.